let's stick with South Africa. The biggest news out of South Africa last weekend, on Sunday precisely, was the stage 6 load shedding of electricity by ESKOM. The utility giant reports that 6 of its power generating units were out of operations, resulting in a massive power outage. Now let's get some updates on how that crisis has been handled as we take excerpts from the press briefing held by the Minister of Electricity, Gosiensho Ramogopa. Take a listen.
To celebrate about the fact that we have had a long period of sustained supply, barring the 1st of February, where we had the consecutive days of uninterrupted supply of electricity, because the expectation is that those that are being given the responsibility of providing electricity should make electricity available. But the only time we get to record that is because we're starting from a low base. If you look at the recent past history, I think it's important that we are able to take stock of each and every milestone that we are registering, just to give confidence that we continue to be on the right path in relation to our quest to ensure that we are able to eliminate load shedding. Let me also say at the onset that I want, on behalf of government and the leadership of ESKOM, to express our regret and, of course, convey our apology to the rest of the country. The fact that, one, we're experiencing load shedding, and two, that we're experiencing the intensity of load shedding that we haven't experienced in a long time. The levels of agitation, the level of anger, the levels of disappointment understood because we're really on a journey to ensure that indeed ultimately we are able to eradicate load shedding. So I want to say that please accept our most sincere apology, the greatest level of humility. I want to say to the country that we regret this setback in the same manner that we regretted the setback that was registered on the 1st of February. But I think what is important is for us to share with you what is it, how we got here, and what is it that we are doing to ensure that we are able to address this unveiled to the country, I think in July of 2022, which had got 5 outcomes. Rather, the number one outcome really was to ensure that we fix ESKOM, and the reason why ESKOM is indispensable to the resolution of the electricity crisis in the country is because of the installed fleet that it has. Essentially, over a period of time, ESKOM has enjoyed that monopoly. So the quickest path out of load shedding is to ensure that we get ESKOM right. And on the part of ESKOM, what did the board do, led by Dr. Mteto, was to adopt the generation recovery plan in March of 2023. And that generation recovery plan place front center the issue of us ensuring that we are able to invest resources in planned maintenance. And in the context of that generation recovery plan, we then went to National Treasury to ask for additional fiscal support because ESKOM was and continues to be in a very difficult financial position. We want to strengthen the balance sheet. Issues of cash flow and liquidity were a major concern. And we got that fiscal injection from National Treasury. And we're able to make the kind of investments that we have made in the installed fleet of ESKOM to ensure that we are able to get to a stage where load shedding is behind us. So I want to say to the rest of the country that we suffered a setback on the 1st of February after over 300 days of consecutive supply of electricity in an uninterrupted fashion, the kind of results that we desire. And of course, the fact that we have had such phenomenal performance over that period of time is just a validation of the decisions that we have taken. What about the generation recovery plan? I did say that we're placing front center, if you like, investments on the installed fleet, making sure that we have these machines reliable. We know that as part of that, we had to up our maintenance. So we had to go to levels of maintenance that have not been recorded in the recent past history. And as I stand before you, in terms of that generation recovery plan, our planned maintenance is sitting at 7,500. 7,500, significantly higher than the same period last year. And we have accepted that there are inherent risks in this decision that we are taking. A lot of you will ask, but why do you go aggressive? Why are you not a bit measured, conservative in your planned maintenance? We understand the following. We can be a bit conservative, but we are going to place a number of units at risk. And when they fail, I think the failure might be catastrophic and requiring us to take even significantly greater decisions for us to be able to protect the grid. So we said that over this financial year, that the generation recovery plan, the levels of maintenance, the aggression, calculated aggression, I must say, indicate is not reckless, and we must still maintain it. And we have accepted that there are inherent risks when you go this route. What are the inherent risks of going this route is that first, if there are outliers in relation to major units failing at the same time, then you'll have to initiate load shedding because you have undermined your ability to have sufficient headroom to be able to absorb the kind of cluster of units failing. As you remember, the last time, the reason why we initiated that load shedding was because we lost the units, 3 units each at Matimba and Letabo, some of our best performing power stations. And of course, as a result of that, we had to initiate load shedding. And in that instance, the intention was to ensure that we are able to recover our reserves, ensure that we are able to protect the grid going forward. The turnaround in that exercise was around 30 hours, and we were able to replenish, we were able to get some of the units back, and then we have seen the run that we have recorded so far. So that's an inherent risk, and that inherent risk, again, has materialized in this instance. We lost 5 generation units at Majuba. On average, really, they generate about 6,000 megawatts on average. It could be marginally higher than that. So it means when we lose that 5 units that generate 600 megawatts, we lost about 3,000 megawatts at a go. And that also triggered a series of events that the CEO of ESKOM will be able to explain, which also affected Medupi unit number 2, taking out an additional 800 megawatts. Essentially, on Saturday, 3,000 megawatts went out as a result of the trigger at Majuba. And then that resulted in us initiating stage 3 load shedding to allow us again to replenish the reserves, allow the team also to understand what the root cause is with regards to Majuba, and have an appreciation of how long it will take for us to return those units. Again, the CEO will just give you an update on where we are in relation to the return of the units, but also more significantly, understanding what the root causes are.